At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
I was expecting for her electrician she hired, the landlord's electrician she hired, to come over, and I was
you were
behind.
expecting Santa Claus?
And,
and what'd you get instead?
This is the plaintiff, Anissa Berry. She says she rented a room in the defendant's house. There was a gas leak in the house, and she could have been killed because she was using a portable heater to warm her room. She inhaled toxic fumes for over a week, and when she moved out, the terrible defendant refused to give her back the $4,200 she's owed. That's why she's suing. This is the defendant, Catherine Marcus. She says the plaintiff's a total drama queen who is greatly exaggerating the electrical issues in the house, which were minor according to her electrician. She never intentionally put anyone in harm's way. The woman owes her rent, and she thinks her lawsuit is just a way of attempting to get back at her. She's accused of causing a gassy situation. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $900 for unpaid rent.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Anissa Berry?
Yes.
You are suing Catherine Marcus, your former landlord? Former,
Yeah.
right? You moved out?
Yes.
Okay, for $4,200 that you say she owes you, and you want her to pay you back. What's going on?
So I moved into her property September 1st, 2018.
And this is in where?
This is in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And for the first couple of months...
Were you renting a room or renting the whole apartment?
I was renting a room.
Okay. And you were paying how much?
$900 a month.
Okay.
So for the first couple of months, things were fine. It was warm outside. My room seemed very insulated. It wasn't until late November, the landlord moved out to go to another state. So someone else moves in. I am not well educated in construction. I did notice a spark in the kitchen earlier on, but
What do you mean by I noticed a spark?
A spark in the outlet that was behind a microwave. So,
okay. When did the spark occur? When it was being plugged in? When it was being unplugged?
When it was being unplugged.
Okay.
And so someone else moves in. This person's a little more talkative. I would see her in common areas. And we end up forming a relationship, a friendship. And so she is well-versed in construction. That is a part of her past background. She said it is not okay that there's a spark. So there was one portable heater for the entire house.
Why?
Why?
Or did the heat not work in the place?
The heat worked on the side where the sublet was, where I had resided for the past 3 years.
All right, so the heat works in part of the house, but not her part?
In the past, people have lived on the side where Anissa was living, used space heaters with no problems. So that was...
But that's not how you're supposed to rent your places out, and you know that California is one of the strictest states about stuff like that. So was the heater broken on that side?
I was told those were inoperable units.
Inoperable?
Yeah.
So yeah, broken.
Yeah.
So he was broken, the heater was broken, and you never replaced it or fixed it?
I did not have the money to fix it, but I used space
heaters. So now go on. What happens?
So there was one portable heater, and the other tenant had issues with how cold it was getting in the house for her. She's much more sensitive to the cold than I am. So I told her, okay, well, the landlord left a portable heater in the front. She told me I could use it, so maybe you can take it to the back and use it since you're having a lot more trouble with the cold. So she took it to the back, and eventually she stopped using it because she said that the hot outlet on the other side of the room was hot to the touch. I said, okay, well, do you know what that means? And she said, that means that it's ungrounded. So I look up what ungrounded means, and it can cause an electrical fire in the walls. And I become very suspicious about the other outlets in the house.
Okay. So what do?
So we emailed. Well, first, verbally, I spoke to the landlord. Nothing changed. So I called an electrician, and he looks at all the outlets in the house, and he explained to me that some of the outlets were ungrounded.
So did he write down what his impressions were?
Yes, he did.
Perfect. Hand me his impressions. Okay. After my evaluation, the electrical panel is obsolete and undersized for the use of the electrical space heaters. It is also there are also grounding issues in some of the outlets. Grounding is a safety issue. All right, so he charged $399. Who paid that?
I did.
Okay, so you're also suing for that because you felt that you needed to hire an electrician to find out what's going on because there's all these problems going on.
And the one she hired.
I tend to agree with you on that. All right, and so he tells you that it's not grounded, and then what happens? You decide you're going to leave. You don't want to live there.
But before then, I also wanted to hear from the gas company because we'd been experiencing a few headaches in the house, and I'm not.
When you say headaches, do you mean that? How do you mean that? You mean literally headaches?
Like literally a headache.
Okay. At this point, it's what day?
At this point, it's early January.
Okay, and you leave like right after that.
Yes.
Okay, so what day do you call the gas company?
I think it was either the 2nd or the 3rd.
And what day do you move out?
I moved out on the 4th.
Okay, so you move out within 48 hours of the gas company going there. What did the gas company tell you?
There was a leak and a small carbon monoxide leak.
Okay, and you end up leaving right away without a month's notice because, fill that sentence up.
Because there was a series of unfortunate events that no one should go through. There was an intrusion in the house.
Oh, tell me about that.
On Christmas Eve, December 24th, I was expecting for her electrician she hired, the landlord's electrician she hired, to come over, and I was
you were
behind,
expecting Santa Claus?
And,
and what'd you get instead?
What I got instead was a guy who jumped the wall to the backyard. He banged on all of the windows, yelling something. I can't even remember.
What time of the day or night was this?
It was about 12 o'clock. During the day.
During the day.
And I'm thinking what to do, and immediately I went to my room to get my phone because I wanted to videotape everything that was happening.
That's funny. I would think that I was about to get robbed and call the police.
Well, by that time...
Okay, you knew this was somebody who was going to occupy one of the bedrooms, right?
No.
Okay.
The other tenant was with me. So you're doing what you just said is exactly what she did. She had her phone already on her. And so she's calling 911, and while she's calling 911, I went to my room to get my phone. So 911 was on the phone majority of the time.
Okay, who did the guy turn out to be?
The guy turned out to be a person who our landlord said would sleep in the front room.
Had she told you the person was coming?
She told me that a person was going to come in, that it was a man, and I reminded her that when I moved in, she said no men were going to be staying there.
Hold on a second. What? Whoa.
And then you get up to go, and you get up to go see what it's about, and it's a lady at the door being belligerent yelling. Get out of here, because you ain't coming in here. Do you have a lease agreement? Do you have a lease agreement? Do you have a lease agreement? I have an agreement with the owner. Do you have it on paper? Do you have it in writing? Then you're not coming in.
Who is this?
Subletter.
That is the other tenant.
That's not you.
No, I'm videotaping.
So anyway, it got nasty like this predictably when
it was nasty for...
What's wrong with you? It's freaking Christmas Eve. You acting like an idiot. What is wrong with you?
Who is that?
I have a child. Don't yell at me like that.
going to ask, honey. Because I know who's holding the phone. Who is the child? She says, I have a child. All right, we're ready. All right. Everybody. Okay, I don't want to live here. All right. Tell me about the road trip. You're suing for $200 for road trip funds.
I told the landlord that I would help her move her things to Dallas. I would drive her. Before any of this happened in September, that's what I said.
That's weird. So you guys got along just famously before this.
Oh, yes.
All right. What do you think has been going on over there? You think this new tenant has poisoned her head?
Basically.
Yeah, because you guys used to get along just fine. In fact, you took a road trip.
She was like a little sister to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I lent her books, DVDs, emails back and forth, YouTube. It was all cool. And I want to indicate that the person was in the sublet section, which I had lived in up until she moved in. So the whole time she's talking about, I was living there. Why would I put myself in a dangerous situation?
Well, you might. I don't know you. And people do that all the time. The question is just...
I would never do that.
Right. But you are aware now that there's an electrical issue.
Yes, I'm aware.
And also, they ended up calling the gas company, and the gas company tagged it.
No. So they tagged units I already knew didn't work when I moved in. It's a condition called smothering flame. So I knew about those units. They tagged the oven, which wasn't even plugged in, which has never had any problems. The only problem I was initially aware of with the electrical was a light switch plate in the kitchen the sublet person told me about.
All right, but should she have to use a space heater? Is that okay for you to demand?
Well, she didn't want to use the space heater. I had heaters dropped off. Nobody wanted to use them, and they didn't tell me right away.
I wouldn't use a space heater.
Well, there was no sparking on her side of the house, and I'm sure she can attest to that.
Okay, do you think that that is comfort? That the fire that's going to kill you is just going to start in the other side of the house? That's not comforting.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, if a tenant doesn't have heat, is that tenant allowed to withhold rent until the heat's fixed?
I think yes, because it's the apartment that they gave them.
Well, and they rented it. But what if it's not super cold out? Can you still withhold rent?
I don't think so, because that's the service they're paying for in their rent. So
if it's like, suppose it's just decent weather, but there's no heat, can you withhold rent?
I mean, I think so, because that's what you're paying for in an apartment, so.
Fair enough, going inside the courtroom.
So you do now know there are electrical problems that need to be addressed.
I know I need to upgrade the panel, yes.
So now you want complete rent rebate. That's what you're asking for. You're asking for the amount that you paid the electrician. And the road trip funds again, or what? What were you going to get paid? Was she going to pay for your gas? What was the
She was going to take money off of my rent.
How much money was she supposed to take off of your rent?
We didn't come to that yet. It was in good faith, and I was naive at the moment.
That's not called good faith. That's called stupid. If you expect X, say it. Because otherwise you're not going to be able to enforce X. That makes it very hard. All right? What I'm going to do now is do a little rough justice. Number one, I find that you are entitled to the $400 for the electrician because the electrician did find that there were numerous electrical problems throughout, and I know that's why you moved out. You moved out because of the sparks, you moved out because you didn't have heat, and I don't like the fact that you don't have heat. I don't think you're allowed to rent out to her and not have heat and say, well, she could have used a space heater, but she chose not to. That's not really appropriate. How inappropriate is it? Is it $900 a month inappropriate? No, it's not. Okay? Particularly when I know that you were giving the heater to the other person because you just weren't even that cold. All right, I got it, okay? Rent back from September through December, all of it? No, you're not entitled to all of it. When was the first time that you complained about needing heat?
December.
Okay. And the last time you paid rent was December, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I find that you're entitled to a $100 rebate for December. Actually, I'm going to make it a $200 rebate for December's rent. I find that you're entitled to the $400. That's $600. You are suing for January rent. By the way, there's no security deposit in this case, right?
No,
it was returned.
You returned this?
I returned it, yes.
So then why are you suing for January's rent if you feel that that was owed to you?
It was my duty as landlord to return it to her.
No, it's not. If somebody owes you January rent, it's your prerogative as a landlord to keep the security deposit for rent and just follow what the law says you're supposed to do when you choose to do that. Usually that's send a letter within X amount of time certified to tell them you didn't pay January rent. But you didn't feel like you were entitled to January rent. That's why you returned the security deposit. You got back your security deposit, right?
Yes, I did.
All right. So you're suing for January rent, and I'm not going to find in your favor on that, particularly since you moved out like on the 4th, and on the 2nd it was deemed by the electrician to be a problem, and no. So on your counterclaim, 0. On your claim against her, I'm going to find that your suit for the road trip funds is absolutely impossible to enforce because you left it up to complete fate. So there's no road trip funds. There is the $400, and I find a rebate in your favor in the amount of the $200 for a net judgment in your favor on your lawsuit against her, and the amount of $600, and on her counterclaim against you, 0. Good luck, folks.
Well, the plaintiff is going to get money back, not the full $4,200 she was suing for. You didn't get anything in your countersuit.
I'm starstruck. My dad and I used to watch you when I was a child, and it's his birthday today. He passed in '89, so just to meet you is an honor.
Oh, my goodness.
I just have
gracious.
to say that.
Keep talking. Happy birthday. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry you didn't get anything for your lawsuit,
fine.
but you've learned something from this, I presume. All right. Thank you very, very
thank
much.
you.
Okay. All right, Miss Barry. You don't look very happy.
No, I'm fine.
You are?
Yeah.
You are very good, Litigant, I must say. You told a compelling story. Sorry you couldn't get all your rent back, but that just didn't happen.
Well, I'm glad I got to tell this story, and I'm happy all this is over.
And you're okay now where you're living?
No, I'm totally safe.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm
everything's
safe
fine.
and I'm comfortable. So.
Okay, good.
It worked out.
Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, you must sign some documents that way. Harvey?
Okay, there's something in every lease called a warranty of habitability. Even if it's not written there, it exists. And part of that is you have a right to heat. And if they don't have heat in an apartment, you can take steps either deducting or even withholding rent until it's fixed. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Coffee Mate. After watching this season of the HBO's original series, The White Lotus, this is the tropical getaway I needed. One more pina colada, please.
Hey, you're not on mute.
Oh, I thought I was in paradise. Turns out, it was my Coffee Mate. Coffee Mate Pina Colada and Thai-iced coffee-flavored creamers. Inspired by the newest season of HBO's original series, The White Lotus. For the love of coffee. Try now.
I know every operating
At my
system like
last
the
job,
back of
in
my
my current
hand.
role,
I have
25 years of experience and have worked with several people from your company. I've been recognized for my passion. My team is everything.
LinkedIn delivers candidates who rise above the rest. With an up-to-date view into shared connections, skills, and interests you won't find anywhere else. See why 86% of small businesses who post a job on LinkedIn get a qualified candidate within a day. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/achieve. LinkedIn, your next great hire is here.
This is the plaintiff, Janina Pagliarini. She says she gave the defendant a rare double-headed Indian gold coin to get a value on it for sale, and the louse took her coin and won't return it. He told her he sold it to someone because that's what she wanted him to do. That's an out-and-out lie. She just wanted an appraisal and is suing this coin thief for the $3,500 value of the coin. This is the defendant, Dan. He says the plaintiff gave him the rather common coin to sell and told him he could keep anything over $300 for himself as a commission if he could sell it. Seemed like she needed money fast. He did indeed sell the coin and got $309 for it. He gave the plaintiff the $300. He made a whole whopping $9 on the deal. Now he's being sued to boot? Come on. He's accused of acting too quickly. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $7,000 for lost wages.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff gave the defendant a very rare double-headed Indian coin to value it, but he kept it. But the defendant says the plaintiff gave him the coin to sell, and he could keep anything over $300, and he only made $9. It's the case of, I took it on consignment, I swear.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Giannina Pagliarini, you are suing Dan, doing business as the collector, for $3,500, the value of an Indian gold coin that you say he has kept from you. You have a counterclaim against her for $7,000 in lost wages dealing with this. Let's hear from you first. What's going on?
Actually, I had looked online about the cost of the coin to sell it, and I had checked with other parties, and just the weight alone on a 22-carat double-headed gold coin is $500 because I had another party check that.
Okay, do you have proof of that?
No, I don't have, but I went to the American Numismatic, and they had told me that the coin itself on the weight was $500, and...
Okay, do you have proof of that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, did you show them the coin to get them to give you that?
No, it is a common coin, and really, I didn't want the money, I just wanted the coin back, so I was...
Okay, I'm sorry. That's a tail end of things. I need to get to the beginning. You run into him where?
I guess he ran into me because he had seen that I looked online on a coin. So that's when the fishing expedition happened, where he would follow me into the coffee shop. Him and his...
I'm sorry, you think he found you online and then followed you into a coffee shop?
Yes, because...
Don't laugh.
Because I go to the coffee shop all the time, so I had never seen him in the coffee shop before that time. So I knew that he never frequented that coffee shop until...
How did you two meet?
He came into that coffee shop.
And did what? How did you two meet after you're both in the coffee shop?
Oh, he brought coins and he put it on a table as bait. And he told me, he goes, oh, you have coins? So how would he know that? How would he know that?
He's sitting on a table, he has coins, and you walk by, he goes, oh, lady, you got coins? That doesn't make sense. What happened? How did you two meet?
I think it was that I online had looked at the value of my coin.
Okay. Who said what to whom first?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay, you tell me. How did you two meet?
She came up to my table at the coffee shop because she saw me reading a trade publication.
Did you have coins on the table?
No.
Okay.
Coin World newspaper. So she asked me if I collected coins, and I said, yes, I collect and deal in coins.
Okay.
She said, well, my mother left me some coins. Maybe we'll get together sometime.
Okay.
Then we talked about various subjects, family, politics, for about at least a half an hour.
Was
we
it
became
like flirting
friends.
or was it like coin talk? What?
Not coin talk.
All right.
Right, because she has no depth of knowledge into coins, but we talked about other subjects. Then she said, down the road, I'd like to get a hold of you. Do you have a card? I gave her my card. When I'm ready, I'll call you and I'll show you my coins. You can give me some prices. So she did, like probably about a month later, and we met in a coffee shop.
At the coffee shop, okay.
Right. And I sat there. She opened up a little box. She showed me one coin at a time. And then she stopped showing me coins. And then I seen a $5 gold piece in the plastic holder in the box. I said, that has a retail value of $500. She goes, okay, sell it for me. She pulled it out and slid it over to me. So she said, sell the coin for me. She goes,
sell
you
it
think
for
you
what?
can get five?
Okay,
you think you can get five? I said, I'll try. I'll try to retail the coin for you. Maybe I'll find somebody that wants to put it in the ring.
Okay.
So I said, I'll make the effort. Either way, you know, the coin's worth at least in that $300 range, wholesale value, based on the metal content. And that's basically all these coins are worth, even though they're over 100 years old. They're commonplace, and they trade for the metal value, unless you get into the higher echelon of grades, MS 62 or above. So I said, I'll do my best for you. And as it turned out, I wasn't able to get...
Wait, I need to know all of what the two of you discussed there, because your business deal isn't in writing, right?
Not in writing. No.
And it's not in email, and it's not in text, so I can only go by the testimony that the two of you give me.
The text came later.
Okay.
When she was displeased.
Okay, but what I want to know is, according to you, what was the agreement?
The agreement was that I would try to sell the coin for her, and if you get $500, keep $200 for yourself. That's what she told me. I said, fine. I knew I wasn't going to probably be able to get $500.
Meaning that you would get anything over $300?
Anything over $300 would be mine.
Okay.
So I had some trouble selling it. I called up a few collectors that I know if they're looking for a ring, and I had no luck. So basically, I went to a fellow dealer that's a good friend of mine, and I just sold it for what it is worth in a liquid marketplace, which was $309.
Do you have the receipt between you and your friend?
Yes, I do.
May I see it? All right. Now, according to you, how did the coin, if you didn't authorize, according to you, you didn't authorize him to sell it?
No, I thought $500 would be my bottom price.
So you did authorize him to sell it, but
At
you told him
500.
500 would be your bottom price.
Right.
Did you expect that he would call you before selling it?
Yes.
Okay.
And he would give me a receipt on whom he sold it to. He did not. He would not.
Okay. He's given me one, but he doesn't really. You had, according to you, when you talk to her and you tell her, I sold it for $300, how do you tell her? Through text?
No, I talked to her on the telephone.
And what happened? What did she say?
I told her I have the coin sold. Then she said, well, I don't want $300. So she recalled that was the deal. She said, I'd like to get $400. Then she said, but you know what? I really want the coin back. And I told her that wasn't possible. It's already been sold on the wholesale marketplace. I sold it for $309. Where did you sell it? Who did you sell it to? I said, that's proprietary information. I can't do that, you know, because she could hurt my reputation by making the call.
Yeah, you don't want to tell her who you
over
sold
something that's insignificant, that has no meaning, no weight.
Okay.
So that's basically how I left it, and she was angry. She wanted to know if I sold it for any extravagant amount of money. She threatened to go after me. She wanted to unclaimed income. So apparently I made a tremendous amount of income on this, that I'm not claiming it, that I'm going to have trouble with the IRS. I have proof. That's a
When what
text
you made
message.
was coffee money.
Pardon me?
When
That's
what
right.
you made was coffee
I
money.
wanted to try to help her because I like talking to her. When I met her a few times in a coffee shop, she seemed like a nice
How'd you like
woman.
talking to her after that?
No more.
So do you think she really gave him permission to sell that coin?
I think that since it was now like the person's property, they're allowed to do whatever they want with it.
Well, she didn't give it to him. He says all he did was she gave it to him to sell. Do you believe she gave it to him to sell, or that he just kept it? He was supposed to appraise it, but he somehow stole it and kept it.
Probably to keep it.
You think he just kept it?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Cynical, going inside the courtroom.
So let me see the text between you two when things kind of hit the fan. Do you have a picture of the coin that you took before you gave him the coin?
No, I wish I did that.
Yeah.
Also, his reputation, Your Honor, was already poor. Online, I checked it out.
When did you bother to check it? After you gave him the coin and did business with him?
Actually, when he told me he only got 300, then
Yeah, that's when you wanted to check? Okay. And what do you say is the problem with his reputation?
Well, I didn't create it. This content online, he's already been caught for fraud, and the ANA, which is the American Numismatic, told me to report it to the Attorney General.
Right. That's them telling you to report your complaints to an Attorney General. That's not... What do you say he had online that was already fraudulent?
It's a phishing expedition online.
What does that mean?
It's an online tactic to, he even says that he will make house calls to people.
Do you mean he advertises?
Yeah.
That's phishing?
No, the way he does it, yeah.
How is it the way he does it phishing?
The Attorney General outlines those rules, I don't.
Did he get in trouble with the Attorney General?
Yeah, he already has criminal and civil court records. He has...
All right, tell me about those.
I didn't look into those because that's not my problem. That's
I'm sorry. Yeah, but you did smear him in court saying that he had prior court stuff. Where'd you get that from?
I got this online.
Can you tell me where you got that from?
It's just a general lookup on a person. You can do a reverse lookup on a phone number. So that's what I did.
Okay, let me see what you've got that gave you that information.
I didn't create it.
What is this that you're showing me?
When you do a search on his name, that comes up.
American Collector? Is that the name of your company? No, your company's The Collector. What's American Collector?
The Collector.
Who's American Collector?
That's not me.
Okay. All right. Now, you have a counterclaim against her for $7,000 for lost wages. Tell me about that.
Well, first of all, by being here, I could be doing business in Rhode Island.
Right
I
here.
had 2 phone calls on the way up here.
Here's the fraud.
And one person that I could have taken care of. Now, they're going to call me back tomorrow. Sometimes they call another dealer when they get off the phone with me.
How are you going to prove $7,000?
I can't categorize exactly how much money
Yeah, of course. This is
lost.
made up completely.
So,
because, you know, you can talk to that person after you leave court. You can talk to them before you're in court. How are you going to prove $7,000 of loss by being in court?
Right. Based on income, the coming over here, the time, and the mental stress.
Yeah, okay, mental stress. That's not what you said. You said lost wages. How are you suing him for $3,500?
Because he couldn't produce the receipt that showed what he sold it for.
Okay, I've got the receipt.
I can create 10 receipts
That's
too.
true, but I don't know what else you want.
I know.
See, you struck a deal with a guy in a coffee shop. You walk up to him because he's got a trade magazine in his hand, and you tell him, I've got some coins, I'd like your number. Then you call him, then you meet him again in that coffee shop, and then you give him the coin, and then you're shocked and appalled that he sold it. He sells it for $309. I've got the receipt. You say, poppycock. Okay, so if showing you the receipt isn't enough, then you need to be selling your own coins, lady, because nothing's going to be good enough for you. I've got the receipt. No, I'm not going to give it to you because he's right. This is who he wholesales with. Give this receipt back to him. But I was worried he wouldn't bring this, and he did bring it. So I see the coin dealer. Give that back to him, will you? All right? So on your lawsuit against him for $3,500, no. And on your lawsuit against her for $7,000, no. Okay? So did you give her the $309?
I paid her $300.
Oh, that's right, because the $9 is yours for coffee.
I have to make a profit.
Right. Okay.
I have overhead.
So you paid her the $300, and you did get the $300, correct?
I did get $300, yes.
Okay. Let me suggest to everybody the following. The next time that you enter into a business agreement with someone, why don't you get it in writing, okay? And barring that, why don't you use your telephones? Send each other a text about what the agreement is. That's in writing. It's so simple. Yes, sir.
That's right. Absolutely.
Oh, this is a good idea? He's like, that's a good idea.
I'm impressed.
That's all you got to do.
I'm very impressed.
So you don't need to be impressed. It's child's play, okay?
It's in my mind.
That's how you don't have these misunderstandings.
That was in my mind.
All right. Good luck to both of you. That is my verdict.
Thank you.
You're smiling. I don't know why why are you smiling? You don't get $3,500 back.
Oh, that's okay. I just wanted my coin back. It really wasn't about the money.
He sold it.
I know.
And he made $9, you got $300, and everything's fine, right?
No, actually, I'm going to the Attorney General's, and they'll find out who he sold it to so I can get my coin back.
Too late now, I think. I don't know. Good luck to you, whatever, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Wow, so happy. Dan, you're happy too. You agree with the judge.
I'm happy and
Step over here.
speechless after what I just heard.
Why?
Because I just don't understand how some people can make a statement like that after a verdict was rendered.
She'll learn the hard way.
Right. I'm learning a lot about mental health
through
this case.
All right, good
Yes.
enough. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, I mean, there's no doubt that she gave him that coin to sell it. But if there are specific steps that he should take or limitations or sell it for this amount, you got to put that stuff in writing. And with emails and texts, it's just so easy. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Exclusively on ESPN Plus, UFC 313, Saturday. Reigning light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira defends his title against #1 contender Magomed Ankalaev, and an explosive lightweight bout between Justin Gaethje and Rafael Fiziev. UFC 313, Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Buy it on ESPNplus.com/PPV.
This is the plaintiff, Patrick Hemingway. He says the defendant was his lifelong friend, but the guy owes him money for a spring break trip to Miami he backed out of, and now he's out $900 in cancellation fees. The defendant shouldn't be doing what he's doing to a friend. He owes $900 and should just pay up. So he's suing. This is the defendant, Jamal Cooper Reed. He says he and the plaintiff talked about going on this trip, but he told him he had to ask his boss for the time off first. For some unknown reason, the plaintiff went ahead and booked the trip immediately. His boss ended up saying no to the days off. The plaintiff should never have booked the trip, and he doesn't feel he owes him any of the money he's seeking today. He is accused of souring on a spring break trip.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says his lifelong friend stiffed him on a trip to Miami, backed out and won't pay the cancellation fee, but the defendant says the plaintiff jumped the gun before the defendant committed. It's the case of Life's a Miami Beach.
Thank you, Douglas. Patrick Hemingway, you're suing Jamal Cooper Reed, your former friend, for $900 in cancellation fees that you incurred as a result of him bailing on you, according to you. Tell me what's going on.
All right, so we all playing, me, Jamal, and another friend planned to go to Miami for spring break weekend. We all were in a group chat, and I told them that we had a good deal on the hotel and flight. So I had to pay it by a certain day. Both parties knew, Me and the other friend had got the money together, and we was waiting for Jamal to send the money. But we had the book by that day, so I went ahead and booked the trip. But
did you have his authority to do that?
Yes, I spoke to him on the phone, and he's also in the group chat.
Oh,
and after the trip was booked, I sent the itinerary. And after that, he said, could I just give you cash? So he knew it was completely booked, and he was going to give me cash. I told him, yeah.
Okay, and then what happens?
And then a couple days went past. He was supposed to give me the money. We spoke on the phone again, and he told me like he not going. He didn't know I already booked the trip. And then I responded to that message, telling him everything that he said, and he didn't respond to my text or call.
Just you've never talked to him since then?
I haven't talked to him since then.
Okay, so you end up with your friend going anyway.
Yeah, we had to cancel and rebook.
Right, but so you're going to have to prove to me you paid $900 in cancellation fee.
I can prove.
Okay.
All right. So this is the from United Vacations, what they sent over, saying about the refund.
Thanks.
It was
$300 per person, United Vacations, cancel. How did you get this?
They emailed it to me.
Can I see the email that they sent you that shows that it came from them?
Yes.
And while he's looking for that, what's your story?
He knew everybody know that I'm a supervisor at my job. I'm salary. It's hard to get the days off. Him and my other friend both knew that. The other friend knew that. That's why he ain't sued me enough.
But he knows what you tell him. Like, did you tell him go ahead and make the reservation?
No, I did not. Only thing he's saying that he was telling me, he said he got a nice deal, whatever. He never told me I never said pay for the trip, agreement, nothing like that.
Did he ever tell you, look, today's a deadline, we got to pay, and did you say, yeah, okay, do it?
No.
Okay, so now you've been able to prove to me that you're out the money.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is, show me that it's his fault that you're out the money. In other words, show me the conversations that you have with him where he says, yeah, go for it, I'm in.
All right. I could go to the text.
You need your phone, right?
Yeah. And set it so it won't be scrambled.
Because it's simple. You either agreed to do this and then you left them hanging, or you didn't agree to do this, right?
So it started off. I said I wanted to go. I never said go ahead, pay for the trip and anything like that. I told you what my job was.
Okay, let's see.
So
let's see how the language is.
Let's start with January 22nd.
Okay, hand it over.
I sent over the itinerary.
Okay, I'll read it.
Then I'm gonna bring. I want you to scroll down past a couple things.
That's exactly what I do for a living. Just hand that over to me. I spend my life scrolling. I have like arthritis in my right thumb. Who's Money MZ? That's the other guy?
Yeah.
What's the porno he sent you here?
So your lifelong friend stiffs you on $900. Would you end that friendship?
I might end the friendship because if they really cared about you, they'd find a way to pay you back.
There's a good point. What do you say? Would you end the friendship?
No, I wouldn't. I think they could pay you back.
What about 2,000?
Maybe.
What about 5,000?
Yeah.
See how easy this is. Going inside the courtroom.
An Instagram page with 100 nasty pictures. Okay, what is the day that you had to pay the money?
I believe the 22nd.
Of January. There's not a single text from him.
No.
You're texting him, but he's not answering.
No, we spoke on the phone. I got our call log too. We spoke on the phone and through text.
You need to stop. I've been doing this my whole life without you. Give me a chance,
I
okay?
apologize, Your Honor.
All right. So then you don't have text proving that he authorized you to spend it.
But after it was booked, you could see where he agreed to send the money over several times.
Okay, I'm going to get there, but you don't have it before.
No,
all right,
not
so
before.
Now let's see.
We spoke on the phone.
Okay. He sends you some bank problem that his money's been placed on hold, and he says, SMH, shaking my head, I know that. And then you say, they're not trying to let us be great, all in capital. You say to him, I can't just give you the cash, and this is on January 23rd, which is the day after he's paid for you. What are you bringing him cash for if you didn't authorize him to pay for you?
No, like you said, we talked on the phone. I never said pay for it. If I told him I could go, I would give you the cash.
Wait, just a second. You're a recipient of all of these texts, and one of these texts, right above that, is him saying, today's the deadline. I've got to pay. I need your money by today. And then he says, well, Judge, then we spoke on the phone. And I say, well, how are you going to prove what he said on the phone? Because he's denying it. And then he shows me where you say, can't I just give you the cash? Now, why would you say that if you don't think you owe him the cash?
Because that was before my job said I couldn't go.
Oh, well, then that's on you, isn't it? Then maybe what you should have been saying to him was absolutely not. Don't include me because I have to first check with my job. How close were you two before this happened?
We grew up with each other.
You grew up with each other?
My mother grew up with his mother.
Say it again?
My
Your
mother
grew up with his
mother.
Oh, for shame. Your mothers must be so upset at you. What do they say about you two being here?
I ain't tell my mother. She ain't.
Oh, well, I got some bad news for you, okay? Your mother's a huge fan, all right? And she's going to see you.
It's going to be a surprise.
Or somebody's going to see you and tell her. So did you tell your mother?
Yeah, my mom's here. She wanted to come. She love you.
Is your mom here? Where's your mom? Oh, my goodness.
I watch you every day.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm sure your mom watches too. Don't worry, everything's all
right.
But this is so sad. They've known each other all their lives, and you two grew up together?
Yeah,
so sad.
I didn't tell her either. My sister told her. I wanted to just...
All right. You got anything you want to show me of proof of what the agreement was between you two?
I got the same messages he got, the same group chat.
Any other messages that are better for you than those?
No, it just a lot of time is off track. Like, all right, he texted me. I was at work. He knew that, and the other defendant knew that. I don't know why he ain't tell him to go. I don't know why he put his name up there.
Why don't you just say, no, I can't, I'm sorry, guys, I can't commit today. Why don't you do that instead of saying, yeah, I'm in?
There was only sent 2 messages, 3 messages out of the whole group chat. They know, like you said,
yeah, but you
I'm
also
more of a
talked
phone.
on the phone, and what he says happened on the phone, he can prove by showing me your text messages. You see, these text messages are before it occurs to you that you're not going to be able to go. And then at some point you decide not to go. But you're deciding not to go. You can choose to do that. That's fine. But there's a consequence to that. It costs people money. Who do you think is going to eat it if I think that you gave the go-ahead? And from what he's showing me, it looks like you gave the go-ahead. Do you have something different to show me? If the answer's no, you owe the man $900. Verdict for the plaintiff, $900.
Man, nobody told me to pay for that.
So the plaintiff wins. You got to give it to him. You know, what's a shame here, it's a long friendship you've had with this guy, right?
Yeah, he's all right.
It's all right? Really?
I'm saying, though, the judge said that's what the judge said. For him, I never said that, pay for the trip. Little messages, but...
Well, I
50
mean,
is
she got convinced. Anyway,
It's
what
all
about
right.
this friendship? It's over?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah.
All right.
Just
Well,
consider
go
telling this, though.
sign some documents out there and on your way out. Let me ask you about this. Obviously, you were pretty prepared.
Came ready.
Yeah, you did come ready. But what about this friendship and your mom here? You know, that's very interesting.
Yeah, it depends on the loser, you know. I'm feeling good. I just know not to trust moving forward if the friendship is gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you've been friends for a long time, right? You
Yeah.
grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
It's over?
Like I said, it's up to the loser.
It's up to the loser.
Loser.
Okay, your terminology. Okay, thank you very much. Up to the loser. What do you think, Harvey?
You see what a good move this was by the plaintiff? Sending text messages as the dispute unfolds is everything.